calling it now. Pokemon Legends Arceus is gonna change the series forever. Now, I know Pokemon has been a pretty, if it ain't broke, don't fix it series for a pretty long time now. And honestly, it still worked because the general idea of what Pokemon has been going for works, and it works well. And that's why practically every Pokemon game sells 10 mil copies. But in the end, I still think Pokemon is a series that was made for innovation. And I think they realize this too, which is why I guess now in post-sight, it makes a lot more sense that they outsourced the Gen 4 remakes for another company to go and work on that while they worked on Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now, I'm not sure this is the direction they'll be taking the entire rest of the series. I honestly think it's a safe bet to say they won't be doing that for every single game. However, but I do think it's a big thing that they went this route. They're really trying to see if this is something that they can work. It's been over a decade since people really started saying on the internet that Pokemon would work really well in an open world style. This is a basic wherever you see you can go kind of game, and that's what Pokemon has needed for a long time. I think Breath of the Wild had a really major influence in people wanting to see that too. Not trying to compare this game to Breath of the Wild, but after Breath of the Wild showed that Zelda could work in an open world style, people just started clamoring about how much Pokemon could use the same kind of uplift. And honestly, I think the Pokemon company thought the same thing too. Now, say what you will about the art design and everything affecting the visual design of the game, you know, because I do generally think the art direction of this game specifically do make the textures look worse than they probably actually are. But honestly, I think because it doesn't actually look terrible to me or anything, I think it's okay. And I honestly think even more so, the gameplay makes up for the visuals in this case. And that's usually not a factor for me, but dang it, they're really going hard with this. This is honestly the most ambitious Pokemon game ever. And it's not just because of the open world, it's how you interact with it. The side quests, the character customization being expanded, this is all really great because I honestly feel like when you have an open world game, you need to have the world feel alive in some aspect. And because this is a Pokemon game and this isn't one of the Pokemon games where Pokemon can talk, we need to have the people actually make this world feel alive. Of course, you need to have tons of Pokemon and ecosystems throughout the world to make it feel more realistic and alive. But I do feel the Pokemon and people that live here need to have some kind of quirks and stuff too. And I think that's really good that they're really trying to go with this because Pokemon hasn't really been known for its side quests. Really, they had little arcs and stuff you can go to and talk to different characters and stuff before, but never in this style. And even if they're small, just fetch quest type stuff, I still think that gives us more reason to go explore the world and become more acquainted with it. And I do think that serves a good general purpose. I also really like about how open-ended the world design is too, because there's a bunch of different ways you can go about, you know, interacting with Pokemon. You could go sneaking into them and go and catching them that way, or you can try distracting them, that way you can catch or battle them that way, or you can just straight out just fight them if you want to. And I think that approach really goes a long way for a lot of people because gamers are really different. Pokemon has always been basically the exact same way. If you wanted to catch a wild Pokemon, you had to go and do it. You wanted to fight a wild Pokemon, you had to go and do it. You had to go do it all the exact same way. But now that we have more character interaction with how we choose to do it, I think that really adds a lot to this kind of Pokemon game. And I'm glad that you can just catch some Pokemon. That's one of the biggest things I'm really excited about. And honestly, I think that was a really good thing about Let's Go 2, say what you will about that game. But I really do think it helps cut the fat that RPGs can really be known to have. Honestly, it's like, I mean, if you didn't have that, you'd have to go through the whole process of sending out your Pokemon, he gets his first attack in or whatever. You have to go through the process of weakening the Pokemon or getting a status effect on it to make it easier to catch, you know, and hopefully you get it on first try. You know, it takes a process, and even if that's not a hard process or anything, it still takes time, you know, and I feel like it just cuts the fat. You know, if this is a Pokemon I know I could just catch, just let me catch it, you know, especially since most of the trouble with the RPGs anyway is going and leveling the Pokemon up. Don't make the whole catching of Pokemon, the whole premise of the game, be more of a process too. So I generally like this. I do think this is an okay move. I do also like that the animations for Pokemon are a huge step up for the mainline games. Now, I'm not saying this is a Coliseum or XD level of animations, but I still think it's great. It's a far cry from anything the rest of the series has tried to do. Now, I think some of the 2D games did some nice animations and stuff, but again, that was still pixel art. There's a lot more you can do in 3D with animations, and I really do think this game is doing it well. But one of the biggest things I really like about how this game and world is designed is how the player actually plays a factor into this world. They can take damage, as you can tell by the whole screen effect that goes on after you take damage from a Pokemon, because yes, Pokemon can run their fade with the actual trainer. That is actually crazy to me, because that has never really been done before. Not in, the games. I mean, of course, the anime has done something like that, but not in the games. It's crazy. You can actually not only, run around and stuff like that and avoid damage and stuff, you actually can dodge roll and stuff. It actually feels like you're actually in that game. And I know it's such a simple thing to be a fan of, especially, with action RPGs being a thing. But in turn-based RPGs and stuff, them having this action approach to things is really, really pleasant to see. It's, not even just for Pokemon, for, RPGs in general. Turn-based games usually don't have this level of interactivity with the player. And I think that's really cool that they're doing this. But I think it's really highlighted through the noble battles. They haven't really explained too much about it, but it seems like they're like area bosses. They're different than the alpha Pokemon, who are just stronger versions of regular Pokemon you can see around the world. These ones seem like they'll be in distinct areas that are kind of running a bit more frenzied, so you actually have to go and calm them down. It didn't really make it clear if you can actually catch these Pokemon. I doubt it, because they seem like they're supposed to be like area guardians, so I'm kind of sure we probably won't be able to catch them. But the fact that we actually have to battle them, and it specifically says that battling them and defeating them is not enough. You have to use the bombs that you come equipped with in the battle to actually take them down and quell their fury. And I think that's a really big thing, because it shows them going back and forth between fighting in a Pokemon battle style and having to dodge and evade attacks and stuff as the trainer themselves, and having to throw the bomb, because again, you're going to stay in this phase until you actually can land those shots of the bomb, because again, you have to aim and actually be able to hit your target, because again, he's going to be constantly barraging you with attacks, and you have to be sure you can dodge roll and stuff out of the way and get your attacks in. So, because you can't just be dodging, you have to be throwing the bombs too. And again, this is a level of player interactivity that turn-based games usually don't have, and this is what you normally get out of an action game. But the fact that we're getting it out of a turn-based Pokemon game, and Pokemon has the gall to do both, it's really, really exciting to see. It's really great. I've never seen this. It's adding a new danger element to Pokemon that this series has never had before, and I'm really excited. This is arguably the thing I'm excited about most when it comes to this game. Another thing that I feel is really important for open world games is the different methods of transportation. In this game, it seems they have different types of traversal means with different Pokemon. Like they have flying, they have ground, and they have water type traversal method. However, my question is, if we have a flying type traversal method, like say if I have the Braviary that they use in the actual trailer, I'm wondering what's to stop me just from using that Braviary from here on out? I mean, I can fly over the water and I can fly over the ground, so why would I use those other methods of travel anymore? So with that, I'm really hoping they set some kind of limits on all different types of traversal. And by that, I mean, of course, obviously there's limits for the ground. He can't fly, and swimming, he can't run. But what I mean is, I really hope that there's certain things that only the specific types of traversal can do. Like say there's a cliff that you can only reach to by flying to it. Or say there's a cave that can only be reached with the water type Pokemon, and you actually have to swim through this hidden cave, things like that. I think that'd be really cool. Or a grove that can only be accessed by the ground traversal type Pokemon. Things like that would still give reason to use every single type of traversal Pokemon, instead of just making, as soon as you get a new one, it's obsolete. Because if I don't have to travel across the land anymore, I can just swim around or fly over it. It gives me a reason to pick ground over the water and air. And I personally just think that's a way to make everything you get in the game still have precedence and be relevant even later into the game. That's just what I'd like personally. But I think another thing I'm really excited about is the lore. because the Pokemon Company seems really determined to add immense amounts of lore into these games. And now I know, the Gen 4 remakes didn't really have anything in that, but that's also because it was outsourced. But with the Pokemon Company games, they've been pretty sure to add lore into these games that are really expanding the multiverse of Pokemon. So, and especially since they seem to be making this a series, especially with the subtitle being Arceus, which seems to be the focus of this specific entry, I really hope that means they'll be doing more with this series. Like maybe we'll have a Pokemon Legends Deoxys someday for, I think that'd be really cool. Deoxys is one of my favorite legendaries, so I really hope we get a Legends Deoxys one day. But I'm really hoping they do something like that. Like maybe we'll get to a portal to the future and stuff like that in our character, and maybe another important story relevant character will go through the portal, and we'll see what Hisui ends up being, one day, it being Sinnoh, and seeing Giratina, and seeing the player characters from the Gen 4 remakes there, and encountering the legendaries from there, and just it's so cool seeing this is what our descendants are going to be doing and stuff. I just think that'd be really cool. It'd be a really cool way to end off a really epic Pokemon game. But I really do think that Pokemon Legends Arceus, if it does well, it will change the series forever. And even if it doesn't do well, it goes to show that the Pokemon Company is willing to try out new things, especially after people thinking they wouldn't for so long. It really goes to show them that people are interested in the new ideas, despite some people not liking the visual design, whatever. I don't think anybody's complaining with how the gameplay ends up actually being. So we're just about 2 weeks away from release of the game, and I already have the game pre-ordered, so I'm really excited to play it. So if you want to check out the game, through YouTube before trying and buying it yourself, and just in case you don't like it or something, I'll be live streaming the game myself, and I plan on streaming through the entire thing myself too on YouTube and sharing that experience with you guys. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, you can always subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. That way you'll never miss another notification again. And if you enjoyed this video, you can leave a like and let me know that you guys want to see more Pokemon videos, because I love Pokemon so much. So if you're interested in Pokemon content, again, let me know in the comments, leave a like on the video, and subscribe so you never miss another Pokemon video again. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is KingdomAce, and remember everyone to play some games, have some fun, and enjoy your day today.